Welcome to another episode of Melanie Sliced Thinner. I'm Melanie, and I'm off the MIA list. I bet y'all probably thought I fell off the face of the earth. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll go ahead and knock out the stats. We're at 6 months post-op. On March 30th, 2016, I had the traditional duodenal switch surgery at Tenova Medical Center in Knoxville, Tennessee. My surgeon was Dr. Rob Williams of New Life Bariatrics. Starting weight was 335 pounds, and weight on day of surgery was 314. And I am, as of today, 244.6. So that's a total loss of 90.4 pounds. I'm happy about that. So, where in the world have I been? I'll start that off by saying sometimes I see videos from people where they've kind of slacked off in posting and they do all these big apologies and, oh, I've been busy and yada yada yada. I'm not going to do that. One, I'm not going to apologize for anything. And two, it's not just an excuse where I've been busy. Stuff has been happening. Three main things. First is there was another layoff at my company where I work. Maybe a couple months ago, I did one video where I had talked about there was a layoff. Well, they just had another one, and it directly affected my area. As a matter of fact, my best friend was one of the people that got laid off, and that was really hard for me to deal with. But she's got some good prospects going, and I think she's fixing to land something good very, very soon. So, we're now just on a skeleton crew, and my workload has been tripled. So I'm just trying to muddle through that as best I can. And morale, of course, is in the toilet. We got to do what we got to do, right? Secondly is I've been in the current jury pool for our local court. So we're active for I think 4 months, something like that. But we had a case come up, and it was a criminal case. We had to sit through the trial. My panel, I was actually picked to be on the jury panel, and it was a really, really tough, trying case. It was hard to sit through it. The case involved rape and incest, so it was ugly. It really was ugly, and it's taken me some time to kind of process through that because it was really emotional. We were able to render our verdict. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but let me just say that it was a really hard thing to sit through and to listen to, and to evidence and everything. And so it's taken me some time to kind of process through that and get over the emotions involved with that. The third major thing that happened is I had a birthday. I'm 42, so I guess that means I am now the answer to life, the universe, and everything. My Hoopy Fruits will get that reference. And yes, I did receive towels for my birthday, so I really know where my towel's at. Excuse me while I take a drink. Here's my big old mug that SJ likes. This mug, for any of my East Tennessee friends, you can get this mug for about $5 at Petro's. It holds 32 ounces, so 2 of these is your 64 ounces, but try to do 3. I love it. I've got unsweet tea in here right now, and if you buy the mug from Petro's, then you can get 99-cent refills, and you can get their unsweet hint of orange tea. Put your sweetener in it. Oh, good stuff. I love Petro's. Not the food anymore, but the tea is wonderful. So this is I'm now calling this my SJ mug. So love you, SJ. Because as she said, she liked it on Facebook. Anyway. And this is just tea. There's nothing else in it. So there we go. So yeah, I had a birthday. I have a confession to make. That's also kind of another reason why I kind of withdrew from doing the videos. This is not going to be an easy confession, but laying it all out there for you. I am bipolar. I've had this diagnosis for well over 20 years, and I've managed, I've kept it in check. Doing what I have to do with that. I'm not a depressive bipolar. I lean more towards the manic side. And with my mania, after I'll have a mania episode, then I crash. And I don't get into the, classical depressive like you think. My crash is I withdraw. I'll be perfectly happy living in the bottom of a cave. Don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't anything. So, and I think the trigger for this was between the layoff and the trial and all that crap. I think it kind of triggered a manic cycle. So, with a manic cycle, you can expect me to be more irritated, more antsy, and I will spend money. Not necessarily that I have the money to spend, because I don't really. That's kind of like a classic episode for me. And then I crash. And I don't want to have anything to do with anybody. I'm just like, leave me the hell alone. So it's kind of what happened, and I've been kicking my own butt to try and get out there. During the time I was away, I was absolutely terrified at the thought of making a video. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't do it. I would shake even at the thought of having to create another video. And when it comes to the thought or the idea that it is a chore, or it is something that I'm afraid of, or it gets to that point, then I have to back away. I can't do it. So I'm coming back to life, kicking my own butt, trying to make this video. And even last night, my friend and she and I went to go see a movie last night, and I really had to force myself to do it, because if I had just really gone with what I wanted to do, I'd have stayed my ass at home and not gone, not talked to her, nothing. As a matter of fact, when she was laid off, it was really, really, really tough. I didn't talk to her for like a week, just because I couldn't. I was just crippled with the fear. So, anyway, that's my confession. And I think that's a reason why I really don't care for the support group that they have through my weight loss surgeon's practice. And those support group meetings, to me, it's mostly newbies, people that are trying to get approval for the surgery, and all they want to ask is, they want to see before and afters. They want to see the dreamland success stories. They don't want to hear about the struggles. They want to get a tour of the hospital, and they want to know what to pack in their bag and crap like that. They don't want to discuss struggles that people are really having, and they don't have a support group that is strictly for the post-ops, which might be better if they did, but they don't. And in my past experience with being bipolar, I've done support groups, and ones where it was just strictly people that were bipolar. Those were great, but when it was ones with kind of a mishmash of everybody, when there's bipolars in there and depressives, people who were bipolar, we would typically sit and just be pissed off because we didn't want to hear people whine about, getting through the depression. And I'm like, won't you swing the other way once in a while? Get the hell over it. That's kind of the attitude that I had, and that I noticed some other people had too. So if anybody in Knoxville, if they're talking about having a support group where it's just post-ops, that might be something I would consider. Anyway, and while I was in my funk, I ate like crap. I had carbs. Of course, I had birthday cake. I had carbs, and I was just eating like shit, and it slowed me down. I've gotten back on point, doing what I'm supposed to do, following the rules. High protein, high fat, low carb, and I'm doing just fine. Everything's sliding right along, and the weight's progressing very well. I'm gonna have to be very more. What kind of grammar is that, Melanie? I'm gonna have to be more conscious and more mindful of my mental cycles, and be able to recognize, hey, look, something's gonna happen, so don't eat the shit, sort of thing. So, yeah, that's what we've been dealing with. But I'm, coming back out of it, doing okay. Everything's good. No major tragedies. I'm still working for now, but keeping my options open in case the worst does happen. And otherwise, just cruising right along. 6 months. I feel good. I don't know how you're supposed to feel at 6 months, but I feel good. Anyway, I have been watching videos. I maybe haven't been commenting, but I have been watching, and I love all of you, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there with me. And see you again real soon. Bye for now. Sparkle on.